Hello, everyone, and welcome to MediaMelt, the show where we talk about the media that is supposed to melt our minds, or in the very least tries to. I'm your host, Dylan Strickland, and today let's talk about Scream 5. Joining me is longtime Scream fan, Katie Mark. How are you doing, Katie?
Yeah, I'm okay. How are you?
I'm good. The joke is that she hates Scream, ladies and gentlemen.
Hate is a very strong word, but I would say I don't like these.
Not a fan. Um, just going to give you guys a breakdown of how the show's going to go today. We are going to talk about the first four Scream films before we get into Scream 5, but those will all be timestamped in the description if you'd like to skip around. Also want to remind you guys that we are on your podcasting app of choice, and don't forget to like and subscribe. But Katie, let's get into Scream 1. What do you think of Scream 1?
My Scream 1 is probably one of my favorites out of these. My first, I don't know if I ever told you, my first memory of Scream is I was projectile vomiting when I was 6 years old at my grandma's house, and my dad was sleeping on the couch, red flag right there. But he was sleeping on the couch he was sleeping on the couch at my grandma's house, and he was like, "Oh, if you're sick, you can sit out here." And we watched this movie, and I was traumatized, and I didn't like anything horror or Halloween for a very long time in my life because of this. Very scary to me.
This scared you, for real? As a kid? Uh-oh. Katie?
When I was 6 years old, yes, thunderstorms scared me.
Okay, it just got stuck on you. I don't know if your internet or whatever glitched out for a second. It just got stuck on you going like this.
This Polaris Wi-Fi.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyways, I have a very fond memory of the first one, because I don't think it I don't think it really reaches its franchise potential until later. And actually, ironically, as much as I don't love these movies, I don't think it reaches its potential until it gets later into it, and it really makes fun of itself the way that it doesn't get to, because it hasn't built anything up to really tear down yet.
Okay.
But I do like the first one. I think the characters aren't likable though until you spend more time with them.
I agree. I'll say that I don't think I liked any of them until I got to movie 3. I was like, okay, well, I'm not in love with, except for
Dewey.
I think it's survivor trauma, honestly. The characters aren't likable until you've seen what all they go through, and you kind of go through with them. Oh yeah, and I love Dewey. I love Dewey.
Dewey is the character of this franchise.
No, he really is. And I like in Scream 1, when she's running away from the killer or whatever, and she runs down the stairs after she's called the cops, and she opens the door, and it's just Dewey holding up the mask. It's the goofy.
Bro, Scream 1 is straight up goofy.
It's so funny, dude. Oh, dude, I love it. I hope they do it more in the new one, but I fucking love it, Katie, when they when they hang up on him and he gets all angry and he's like, "Don't hang up on me again, you fucking bitch!" Yeah. I think it's the funniest thing ever. I'm hang up again, I'll get you like a fish. He really likes talking on the phone. It's so funny to me, and they keep doing it. I just can't stop laughing every time they do it. I love it.
My thing with Scream 1 is every time I watch it, I'm like, Shaggy.
Yeah, I know. I think about that too. And he goes full, what the fuck happens to his character after he comes out as the villain? Do you know what I'm talking about?
It's a great evolution.
I think I'm dying, man. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about? Where he's I feel like he's a normal person throughout the whole movie.
And his eyes fucking bulge out of his head.
And then he's well, no, and then he just, I don't know, he loses all, not humanity, I want to say sanity. He's talking like this now, and he's really plays it up when we find out he's the villain, and I'm where the fuck did that come from? Because you weren't like that the rest of the movie. But other than that,
also as silly goofy as these are, I forget these boys just rapes their classmate's mom. Like, I think
Oh,
to
it's
me,
terrible. Yeah.
that is like, I'm like, and like we kind of gloss over it in the rest of the
Yeah.
films. Like,
Yeah.
and I'm
Like they
like,
are just
they
fucking
were
weirdos. Yeah.
also, she was fucking Billy was her boyfriend.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't
Like
know.
that's,
No, they're awful people.
yeah.
And I don't know how well, I mean, she does pretty well for like someone who has a serious amount of trauma. Um, but
Oh, she's gone through it.
I put in the beginning the FK joke is funny, but I don't remember what it was now. FK. I don't know. I overall think that the meta-ness is very funny. I don't know if you like it though.
It gets, it grows on me, I think, as as the series goes on. I need to say, I don't think any of these movies are good. However, I do enjoy watching a couple of them.
Like
So I
like
do
you would
think
watch some of them again.
sure.
Hmm.
I think the meta grows on me. I think like once they just like play into how absolutely ridiculous it is,
Hmm.
and then they start like making fun of not just the meta-ness, but of how meta they are.
Hmm.
It's like, okay, you're at least like they commit fully to the bit. So I'm like,
I like the whole I really like when they're watching Halloween at the end of the first one, and he's right behind you, and like the dude's like I don't know, I like it. I think it's funny where it's like never say you'll be back because you're the like killer, and like you know what I'm saying. I don't know, I fuck with it. I also like how
and the whole rules of how to survive a horror movie.
yeah, and like all of it, and then they break it like you're not supposed to have sex, but they like twist it. It's like very, you know what I'm saying? Well, yeah, but you know what I mean. Like they create these rules and then they manage to like try and break all of them, and I think that's really kind of fun. But honestly, I understand why it's like a cult classic. I really understand why everybody thinks it's so fun. I think the first one's actually pretty good, like strong 7 out of 10. But I know you think they're all just.
As much as I liked it, I would still give it like a 4.5 out of 10. Like this is one of my more liked ones.
Oh God. Okay.
But
Well,
you know me, I'm an all or nothing kind of.
yeah, that's true. That's true. All right, but let's move on to Scream 2. What do you think of Scream 2 with
I think
isn't
Scream
Jada Pinkett Smith in this one?
I think Scream 2 is the most forgettable of all of these. I
I'm being
Scream
serious. Isn't Jada Pinkett Smith in Scream 2?
I cannot recall.
Isn't she the one who dies in the in Scream 2?
Scream 2, it's
No, it's Maureen Evans. Never mind. They look similar.
Mickey dies and then the
The one who dies in the beginning. I thought it was Jada. It's not. Oh yeah, it is. It is played. She's played by Jada Pinkett Smith. Yeah.
how old is she then? Like 0?
How old do you think she is?
Sorry, I thought you were wait, Jada Pinkett Smith. For a second, I was thinking Willow Smith.
No, she's the one who dies in the movie theater at the beginning of
I'm not even gonna make a
was it
joke. I'm not even gonna make a
Stab
joke.
Yeah, I love it. I love that Stab 1 is exactly the same as Scream 1. Like they got it down to a T.
So my favorite thing about the Stab Scream comparison is that the names do not change. And that is my favorite part of these movies, that the characters literally have the exact names as real life. Nothing about like protecting the names of like the people for the
No,
innocent.
they go straight
They
for
literally take the exact names. And to me, that is comedy.
And none of them sue. Like you would think that Sydney would be like, "Stop
They're all
making
chill about it.
movies about this," but Sydney's like, "No. Like you can use my name." Yeah. And then I wrote down here in my comments, this is the worst theater ever because they're so loud, even when nothing is happening. They're just yelling at the screen. And I wrote, how did he know when he stabs through the wall, right, of the stall? How did the killer know where his head was? because the dude's listening on the stall thing. Like, I swear, I don't know. What did you think of Scream 2, Katie?
The only memorable thing is when they had that weird part with the like crucifixion-esque imagery. And I was like, okay, bold choice
Mm-hmm.
with like the kid on the cross. And then the third act is very fast.
Yeah, with this is the one with his mom and
and it's a double kill at
Timothy
the end.
Dalton, yeah.
Yeah, and it's a double kill because then they kill him. I can't remember if they can't kill him or her first.
Yeah.
But like I think he kills her and then they kill him. Anyways, I genuinely think Scream 2 is the least memorable in my opinion.
Oh yeah, this is one I think is just average. I was like, this isn't nearly as good.
I do think we get on an upswing.
Yeah, and I do think this one is the most like horror movie where it's like all the characters make stupid ass decisions that don't really make sense, and instead of them like usually like they're like, oh yeah, like make fun of yourself and like we make fun of the stupid decisions. I'm like, no, in this one they're just actually making stupid decisions. Like it's not for the sake.
What's the name of the actor guy? The Cotton Weedy or what's his name?
Cotton Weather Weary or something like that.
Cotton something.
Cotton Weather Weary or something like that. He's like
Cotton something.
Cotton from Scream. Yeah, what's his name? Cotton Weatherby? Cotton Weary. It is Cotton Weary. You were dead on.
Okay. I just think, and what is it? It's like Cotton and Cece.
Yeah, and Cece's an idiot.
There's a lot of like.
Cece deserved to go.
I think the names in this movie are ridiculous, and they continue with the rest of the series. And I just want to take a moment to bring out my least favorite thing about the Scream series is that they spell Sydney Sidney. That bothers me.
I didn't know that, but I'm gonna act like I still don't. Is this the one where they? Yeah, I think this is the one where they act like they killed Dewey. Like
they also did that in 4.
I think it was 3. They act like they killed. They just keep.
They do it in all of them. Everyone, they're like, he's dead, but he's not.
Yeah,
Well.
But yeah, like I said, I think the ending is kind of fun with the two. Like I know you said it was too fast, but I don't know. I like the.
No. I think it's a better pace than the rest of the movie.
Yeah. But I think the movie overall is just very slow, and I'm really sad that they killed Randy because he was like the only character from the first movie that I was like, okay, I can actually like relate to this guy. Do you know what I'm saying? And then they murder him, and I was like, oh, okay, great. Because at this point, I still wasn't like, oh yeah, I love these characters. I was still like looking for the one character, and I was like, okay, so it'll be Randy. Eventually, I settle on Dewey because he's like the best character in the whole series.
Yeah.
And I actually come around on Sydney. Gail Weathers.
You come on Sydney?
Whoa. Gail Weathers.
Sorry.
I was like, Gail Weathers, I was like, she's okay, but I don't know. But do you have anything else you'd like to say about Scream 2, Katie?
I have literally nothing else to say about Scream 2. I really desire to never watch Scream 2 again.
Okay. On to Scream 3.
Woo!
Yeah. Which I think this is.
I actually like Scream 3.
No, I really enjoy Scream 3, and I think this is, if not
it's
my
leaps and bounds.
This one or 5 is my favorite, but I can't tell how I feel about 5. I'm still like in this weird limbo.
Well, I'll tell you what I think about 5.
Yeah, we'll get there, but Scream 3 starts with Sydney in her like bass thing, and I was like, I kind of like that she's like separated. And then I put #justice for Cotton Weary. I don't know why, but I guess his death really affected me.
You really were upset by his death.
Yeah, I really was. Courtney Cox has the worst haircut in the entire franchise.
Literally, the bangs are like.
That's terrible.
This is what her bangs look like.
It's god awful.
She looks like a me. You know the me haircut in Me Central where it's like this?
Yeah.
That's what she looks like.
It's terrible. I wrote down an exclamation points Stab 3. I guess I was excited about there being a Stab sequel. Um, but what did you think? What did you think about Scream 3, Katie?
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna just go through my list of things I said about I keep wanting to say Stab. Scream 3. The magical knife that cut through the door in like the second scene, where the knife just goes straight through the door and is like magically able to cut through the rest of the door. And I was like, damn, I don't know if that's a weak door or a great knife. And that's all I could think about for like 10 minutes. And then the least realistic thing about Scream 3, like for like critiques, is like the posters all up outside of the warehouses that say exactly what they're filming inside.
Yeah. I was
like,
thinking, this is one of the most popular movie franchises in the world, apparently, in this world that they're set in. And now they're telling everybody where they're filming. And
yeah, I was like, you're not gonna drive by a back lot and be like, oh, all of these stars are inside this building. You know what I mean? Like it was very clearly labeled. I'm like, nobody's trying to keep this under wraps. Okay, whatever.
Yeah.
What was I gonna say?
I think this movie has a lot of fun with. This is like the best cameo film I've ever seen.
Oh my god!
You got Carrie Fisher.
Carrie Fisher being in this.
The late great Carrie Fisher, and then you have Jay and Silent Bob, who just show up for no reason, like just to be in it, and then you have fucking Patrick Warburton, who shows up.
I literally was like, why are you? He's like, he was the security guard.
Yeah, I'm the security cop. Yeah.
I thought it was so silly. I was like, what?
It's so awesome. He shows up just to die. And I was like, okay, I'm on board with Scream 3.
And then, okay, my favorite part, my least favorite part. My least favorite part of Scream 3 is when, what is it? The guy at the very end, when the murderer is like, or the brother, when the brother's like, oh my God, these guys, like, what they did to our mother, like what they did to her back then, they made her a slut. And I was like, are you talking about when they fucking her? Like, that's horrific. Like, the fact that line made it from pre-production all the way to post, and like then nobody was like, maybe that's offensive.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, okay.
2000s, what can you say, Katie? You know, it's a different time.
But my favorite line is when they were talking about like Cotton being dead, and it was like the director and the producer, and they're like, what does this have anything to do with us? And they were like, he was filming a movie called Stab. He was stabbed. I thought that was so funny.
Yeah, no, I love this movie. And Dewey is so clutch in this film. I will say, however, though, I hate that they have the same arc for Dewey and Gale for 3 movies in a row. Like, they're like, at the beginning they're not together, and then they're like, oh, like, we really shouldn't do this because, like, I'm the reporter and you're like the cop, and then it happens.
Classic forbidden reporter and cop romance.
Exactly, yeah. 3 films in a row they do this same arc where like Gale has to like find her humanity again, and it's terrible. And I also didn't know, it's not terrible, but I also didn't know that this was David Arquette and Courtney Cox. So like they actually were married and like got a divorce in real life. And I was like, I had no idea.
No, they say life imitates art.
Yeah. Do they say life imitates art or art imitates life?
I can't recall. Now that I've said it, it sounded wrong.
I can't remember either. And I like the scene where they're hiding them, like they have all the Scream costumes, and they're hiding, like they don't know. I think the horror is a little better in this one, honestly. I kind of like it. I don't know. I fuck with it.
I just thought this one was like the most enjoyable of the first 4.
Okay, so you think 5 is above it?
No, 3 is probably it probably goes like 3, 1, 5, 2, 4.
Yeah, okay. That makes sense. Do you have anything else you'd like to say about 3?
Most enjoyable.
Yeah, I think it's pretty fun.
Most rewatchable. If like a friend wanted to
like let's watch
a Scream movie, I'd be like, let's watch Scream 3.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah. And then we get into Scream 4. And this movie starts with just a blatant lie about how Saul sucks.
I
And
know, and they were
such
like,
an idiot. I'm sorry, but Saw rocks, dude. And I know it's a part of the like GIF. I fucking love the Saw films.
yeah,
I don't think I
four,
love
five,
Spiral as much. The more I think about Spiral, the less I like it, Katie.
5, 6, and 7 is where it's at.
Yeah,
Those are
no,
the best Saw
I'm a
movies.
diehard Saw fan, and what she was saying was so blasphemous that I was like, God, I hope she dies. But then I realized that they were like playing into the like I
Damn, now I
really
kind of
don't
want to
like.
watch Saw. Fall asleep with it on TV.
Yeah,
Comfort
that's
movie.
a weird thing to do. But I fall asleep with Saw on the
I usually
TV.
fall asleep watching like It Chapter 1 or something.
Oh, Katie.
Like I get halfway through the first scene and I'm like,
Yeah. Hey, yeah, Georgie.
I'm
Um,
like, oh, comfort.
okay, it's the weirdest shit you've ever said. Um, oh, didn't you? You're the one who used to like listen to like horror podcasts right before you fell asleep, right?
Used to.
Oh, you still do? Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I got a little man simping for me who reads me stories aloud now. Murder
Oh my.
stories.
Oh my God. Wow. Okay. What do you think about Scream 4, Katie? What do you think about Scream 4?
Scrawl 4. Scrawl 4. The opening was so heavy-handed.
I know. I thought it was too much.
The opening really shoved it in your face. I mean, it was just like I get like they were playing into it, but it's like the 3 false openings was like okay, and
Yeah.
then like it was like Kristen Bell was there, and I was
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
okay. Also a thing that bothered me is in the first like 20 minutes they talk about like the third character's shit. They're like, you're just the dumb one with the huge tits, and I'm like, those are, I'm sorry, like factually those are not large breasts, and
Okay.
it bothered
So
me.
you're mad at the size of her boobs and not the line?
Well, I was
thought you were
mad
gonna
at
be
the
like,
casting.
I thought you were going to be like, the line is great. Or you were going to be like, the line is so horrible. But more, you're like, her tits weren't big enough. Give me bigger titties.
More like the casting was bad. Like, if the plot point is that she has massive titties, don't come in with these B cups and come out and expect me to buy into it.
Jesus Christ. Oh, that's a Wes Craven thing though. He loves being like, talk about their titties on screen. Like it's like in every movie that he directs.
Yeah, what was it? And I mean, Allison Brie like took this movie very seriously for the 10 minutes she was in it.
Yeah.
She was very serious about it.
Is that the one who's oh God.
She's
Is
from
that the one
Community.
who's the murderer in this one?
No.
Oh no, the murderer is that one girl.
She's like the reporter, what's the intern
The
person?
murderer is her cousin, right?
Yes.
Who is and what's her name?
The one who's Emma Roberts.
Emma Roberts, yeah. Not a
And
good
her
pick
last
for
name is Roberts in the movie.
in
And I
my
was like,
opinion, just not a good pick for the killer at all. I just
no, no.
unfortunately
It
I
was just
didn't think it worked.
the performances, I think overall were really weak. I think
The main 3 just did their normal thing, which I was
I
like
know.
fine, but like the villain has to be it doesn't have to be good, but it has to be better. You know what I'm saying?
I think it's of note that I watched the last half of this movie in 2 times speed, and it was much better paced. It was much more entertaining fight choreography.
Bro, Hayden Panettiere's in this one. Isn't that the weirdest fucking thing you've ever seen?
Hayden Panettiere.
Yeah, whatever her name is.
Hayden Panettiere.
Hayden Panettiere or whatever her name is.
Hayden Christensen was in this movie?
I didn't expect that. And she gets stabbed to shit, but I think she
kept
lives.
confusing her with a different actress, and I can't remember who it was.
The one you're confusing her with is everybody confuses her with her. Not Florence. No, I can't remember. I just
remember thinking it was a different actress, and
yeah.
And then that girl from Princess Diaries showed up. What the fuck is her name?
I don't know. I don't watch.
And then she shows up conveniently with this tape explaining exactly what needs to happen to get us to the next part of the movie. I was like, okay.
I don't know. I thought that cop was gonna die. She didn't. What she eventually does in the next one. But I was like, I don't know. Very, very weak antagonist. The ending is kind of underwhelming.
It ends in like 10 seconds.
I want to say though, I wrote here in my this is more just a note about the actor aging. I said it's been a decade and Dewey looks the exact same. Like this dude did not age.
A
Like
real Joe Carpenter
David
syndrome.
Arquette, yeah, for real. David Arquette just did not age at all. Oh shit, I need to change the background. Just act like it's been this the whole time. There you go. Yeah, there you go. Act like it's been that.
David Arquette's like not bad. You know what I mean?
No, he's like he's like the most likable character in this whole
No,
series.
no, no. I mean like on the eyes.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You don't think?
I mean, he's not ugly, but I wouldn't go David Arquette is not bad.
He's like the David Harbour of the 90s.
Yeah. Okay. That's fair. That's actually that's a good point.
And we all know how I feel about David Harbour.
I will say this movie gets brownie points for the beginning. I just really wish that the killer would just get angry all the time because it's the funniest shit ever to me. Like it's genuinely the funniest shit that they do in these movies is when he's like, "Hang up on me again, you fucking bitch, and I'll gut you like a fish." I love it. It's so funny, dude. And I'm just sitting there like dying of laughter. But other than that, the rest of the movie just like plummets. And I don't like the ending. I think it's very anticlimactic.
It's like a running start for like 3 minutes, and then they're like, "I'm tired. I'm gonna walk the rest of the way," and like it's just so slow.
I wrote Trevor with the ultimate cock block, but then I realized that Hayden Panettiere didn't need to be in that situation anyway. So Trevor actually did it.
Also, wait, what is the guy? What is that? Was it named Robbie or something? At the end when he was like screaming, I'm gay, so he wouldn't get murdered. I was like,
I thought it was pretty funny though, I'm gonna be honest.
I thought it was funny. I also thought it was funny because I was like, this is, but I mean, if you're about to die, I feel like morally you have a little bit of leeway.
Just yell, I'm gay to survive.
I'm gay.
Okay, Katie, are you ready to do this? Ready to talk about
Scream Skive.
Scream Skive.
Draw 5.
Yeah, let me get this pulled up here. You know how it is. We're gonna do our walkthrough of the story.
Right.
And we're gonna talk about the stuff we liked about it. But you can go ahead and start with your general thoughts. What do you think about Scream 5?
Generally, I actually thought a lot of the performances in this were like solid. I could watch Jack Quaid do anything.
Is that the bad guy in this one?
He's the guy, yes. From
He's
the
from
boys.
The Boys, right?
Yeah. I was just like watching him on screen. I was like, you do your little thing and I'll be happy to be here. And I thought Jenny Ortega was actually pretty good. Like
that is her. I didn't know if it was her or not.
For being like a kid actor, I'm like, damn, okay, girl.
Yeah.
Kind of popping. What is the name? I thought what's her name? How do you say Neve Campbell? Is that how you say her name?
I have no idea who that is.
Evie Campbell, the girl who plays Sydney.
Whoever her, yeah, sure. Let me see.
I thought she had a good like arc in this film too. I don't know. It felt like what needed to be in place of.
This felt like the Scream 4 we should have gotten to me.
Yes. Yeah. It felt like that, and I think like logically the next step probably would be like Stab has a fandom, and that's the next like thing.
Yeah.
And I was like, like when I first saw it, I was like, I don't know, is it too much? And then rewatching Scream 4, I was like, no, it's earned that. You know,
we're already too far gone. We couldn't come back from
Yeah, so I was like, okay. And I thought, what was the name of the little blonde girl who was also the co-murderer?
She wasn't blonde. I think she was black-haired. Do you want to close? Sure? Let me see. Her name was not Sam. That's her sister, right? Richie and Amber. So Amber.
She's blonde, right?
No, she definitely had brown hair.
Are we sure about that? Did
one of the killers?
One of the PAs check.
One of the killers? The other killer, other than Richie? Yeah, she has black hair, Katie.
I'm looking it up. I'm looking it up.
Well, you don't believe me?
No, I don't.
Richie and Amber. Yeah. Okay. Listen, here's my overall thoughts while you look this up.
Oh, Dylan Minnette was in this, by the way. I forgot.
Who? Oh, okay.
Dylan Minnette.
Oh yeah. What's his fucking name from 13 Reasons?
Yeah.
Yeah, here's the thing with this movie. I think this movie is really good. It just does something that I just don't know if I can forgive it for. Like I really like the movie. I don't want to. I won't spoil it. We'll get to it. But like when it happened, I was like, I don't know about this, man. I literally wrote, I don't know about this, man, in my notes because I was like, I don't know. But yeah. Listen,
also, you're right. She has black hair.
Yeah, I know.
I'm sorry for ever doubting you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, I don't know. But the rest of the movie is so good. Like, I think the kills are really well delivered in this movie. Like, I think they're the best they've ever been.
The horror element of it, I was like, okay.
Yeah, okay. Not a bad little horror thing they got going too. Yeah. I was watching it, I was like, this movie warrants a sequel in a year. I was like, this movie would deserve a sequel in a year.
Oh, yeah. But
I was also thinking, man, I'm really not sure if I'm interested in a sequel anymore.
Without the one character I really love.
But let's go ahead and let's get into it. So the movie starts out with Tara Carpenter.
Spoilers ahead, by the way.
It's been like 4 months. I'm pretty sure if you cared, you were gonna see it. Anyway, yeah, we're talking about this really late, catching up.
What if somebody was watching this episode who was like, "Oh, I actually haven't seen Scream 5 yet. Time to tune out."
Yeah. If you haven't seen Scream 5 yet, we're gonna do an in-depth spoiler review. Here we go. But if you haven't seen Scream 5 yet, why did you click on this video?
I bet I'm willing to bet this situation applies to nobody watching it.
Yeah, all 3 of them are like, dude, we've seen it. All right. So Tara's alone when she's attacked, and then she's actually left alive, which I didn't expect, Katie. I don't know about you, but how did you feel about this opening scene with her where she actually lives through it?
Well, she's like the main character.
Are you talking about the one that's hospitalized?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, though. I'm just shocked that they actually. But I know they needed her to come back, but I was just sitting there thinking, I was like,
well, then the first kills was that sweet elderly couple, right? That broke my heart. I loved them.
That was in Halloween. What are you talking about?
No, the elderly. Are you joking? The elderly couple.
What are you talking about right now?
Isn't there a couple in that gets murdered?
What's their ethnicity?
I don't want to answer this on air.
I think you're thinking about Halloween Kills. The one with the drone, where they were killed in the kitchen.
Yes, that's exactly
Katie, that's Halloween Kills, Katie. Are you talking about the one that got killed with the light bulb?
Oh boy!
Serious? Are you serious, bro?
I'm sorry.
Right now? No. Katie,
I promise I've seen this movie. Oh my god.
Katie, that's Halloween Kills, one of the worst horror films I've ever seen.
Wait. So once Tara goes to the hospital, it cuts to her sister, and then she's sitting outside of the bowling alley, and then Richie comes out and he's like, "Of course I'll go with you, babe." That scene?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, now I'm in the right movie.
Yeah, now you're in the right movie. Which I actually believe their relationship. I don't know about you.
I did, but I was wary because he was handsome.
Oh, yeah. Well, also what did you think of the opening scene where she lives, which was shocking to me because I was
where she lives. I liked the how the trivia of his question, the stab trivia questions, also served as a nice little refresher of what happened in the past.
Oh, that's a good point. I didn't even realize that. That was a little nice exposition thing that is.
Yeah, I was like, okay, right. Now I'm remembering all the characters' names.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, And like it also establishes that our main character is like aware of what's happening. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? Even though like, you know, like not necessarily as smart because she continued engaging with him, but like,
Mhm.
but she was still smart and like she had enough like correct instinct for me to be like, I think I can root for this character. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Mhm.
Also, what
Well,
a gnarly scene to survive.
yeah, yeah. I agree because I actually, like I said, I think the violence in this one's actually really well done.
Yeah.
Um, then we meet all of her friends, which I don't think. I mean, did you care about any of them?
The
I kind of cared
mid
about. I can't.
group.
I cared about the guy who plays Clay,
Yeah, Dylan Minnette,
but I only cared
who had
about him.
frosted tips in
Yeah,
this.
yeah. Terrible design choice. Horrible design. I was like, this
I'm
is
like,
a nice.
why? Like it's awful.
It's horrible.
Feel
But
bad for him.
I was like, oh, I kind of care about him. But I mean, I wasn't shocked to see him go. But
Yeah.
then you know, we meet everybody else who I'm like, whatever. I kind of like the girl who takes the role of Randy. She's fun.
Oh, the
Randy's nephew or whatever.
right. The girl with the necklace who was like going back to explaining the requel shit.
Yeah, which was fine, whatever.
Yeah.
Um,
That was exactly what I thought this movie was
I
gonna
feel
be.
like the
That
writers of this
scene.
movie were like, I fucking hate Star Wars. Ah! I was like, Star Wars is the worst place it's ever been. Like I thought, I really felt
She
that.
was like, it's a sequel that contains all of the plot and characters from the original. A requel. And I felt her staring into the camera at the audience, and I was like,
I hate that. No, I get
okay.
that. But
It's
then,
that classic Scream meta humor that I just can't deal with sometimes.
then Sam goes back to see her sister in the hospital. We find out, you know, interesting enough. I mean, I knew from the second they showed him, which how weird is it that they show Billy Loomis in this? Uh, I was like,
He's crusty.
yeah, he's damn, Katie, he's a real person.
They cast a crusty actor.
Yeah, well, he's older. I mean, we haven't seen him.
I just know that
It's been almost 30 years.
he has like corn feet. You know,
Oh
like
God, Katie.
I'm just saying, like you can smell it on him.
Um. Yeah. Okay. Anyway. Yeah. Did you think the reveal of her father as Billy Loomis was surprising at all, or no?
It was not shocking at all, considering that they do this every movie. They're like, oh my god, conveniently, this new character we introduced has some family tie to the previous 3 or 5 characters from the first movie.
Yeah, they
I was
really
like,
like connecting it to Billy Loomis. They're like, it's either his mom or his dad that left him as a kid, or like his brother or some shit.
yeah.
Yeah.
I do
Um,
like that it goes back to the beginning though, because I'm like, okay, I do care. Like, I care enough that I've invested like 5 movies into this. So like,
oh, dude, I forgot to talk about the leg snap in the beginning. Fantastic. Fantastic. I hated it. I thought it was so good though.
no, some of the gore in this actually, I was like,
It
okay.
reminds me of like this movie reminds me of Halloween 2018, where it's like it kind of just reinvigorates the entirety of everything. You know what I'm saying?
Let's hope Scream 6 doesn't pull a Halloween Kills.
Oh god, the movie's so bad. Sometimes I think about that movie and I just ball up my fist. Like I just really want to just like kill myself. Like
The
and
movie
people
where
like
nothing
it.
happened.
People like that movie more. People are
Who?
like, oh, that movie.
Who?
People are
Please
like,
drop
oh,
your name in the comments below if you
like,
liked Halloween
like,
Kills.
oh, it went back to the Halloween roots. Like I like the older like the sequels, and I was like, bro, fuck you. We're not talking about those movies anymore. I hate them. I hate them.
I loved Halloween 2018.
Yeah,
Loved it. Maybe that's why I like Scream 5 because it like
yeah. And I like that the new movie, the new Stab movie coming out is called Stabs.
I forgot about that.
I like that. I think that's kind of fun. Then there's a scene where the two sisters say they love each other, and I thought that was not very well done. I was like, oh, this is a bit forced. But maybe it's just
it's because I don't care about these characters. They needed to stop trying to shove these new characters in my face and get to the 4 characters I actually care about.
Well, to be fair, I will say this movie does a better job than Scream 1 at making me care about Sam by the end of it. Like by the end of it, I was like, okay, I actually do kind of like
Which
Sam.
one is Sam? The older sister or the
Billy
younger?
Loomis's daughter.
Right. I liked her, and I liked the younger sister too.
Yeah. Then we get to the scene where Stumacher's nephew is killed by Ghostface when he does the car thing.
Yes.
You know what I'm talking about? Is this the
Yes.
one through the neck? I think this is the one through the neck.
I don't remember because as soon as you said that, I just remembered everybody gathering in the pub in Halloween Kills. That's all I could think about. Where
Hey,
they're like,
stop! You're killing me. You're making me. I don't want to think about that movie anymore.
they're like chanting like in Beauty and the Beast.
Mm-hmm. And then oh God, so
I can't. The mental connection between these movies is too strong for me.
process what you were saying. So fucking terrible. Then we cut to oh God, you just my whole attitude just shifted.
So sorry.
Then we cut to we find out, she tells she tells Tara about her true father.
Tara Cooper.
Yeah. Well, you just name dropping people on the podcast. Yeah. Anyway, she tells Tara about her and her connection to her father, and she's really angry because that means that's the reason that she left and her father left, and
yeah,
which I'm shocked we didn't get to see that father in this movie.
Yeah.
But he'll definitely be the killer in the next one.
I also like how they made they built in that little they built in a ridge between the two sisters that forced them to make up and also provide that backstory in that way, as opposed to just being as you know, this
and
is
I think it's kind of interesting too, because I'm gonna be honest, for a majority of the film I thought the sister was one of the killers.
The one who was in the hospital?
Yeah. Because I was thinking, I was like, it does make sense for her to find out about her dad and then be mad at the rest of the, you know what I'm saying? The killer sister. And when Richie was saying that, I was like, ooh, that's a really good point.
Yeah.
Because I was already thinking that. I already thought it was the sister that was the killer.
Red herring.
Yeah. Exactly. Then Sam and Richie visit Dewey, who has divorced Gail.
Woo!
Yeah. The best character. And I love that he calls it from the beginning. He's like, it's probably the boyfriend. And they even talk about it at the end of the movie where he's like, got it on the first try. The love interest was always the killer. And Dewey's like, how long have you known this guy? Because he's probably the murderer. I thought that was awesome. Dewey, saving grace to the franchise. The best part about the franchise. What do you think about the Dewey reintroduction scene?
I was more focused on trying to pull little details from his trailer. And again, it's just giving me big Doc Hopper energy with the whole, I live in a trailer. I live alone. This is my life now. Blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean? It's giving, that's my old life. I haven't done anything like that in years.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
I like when he goes, I've been stabbed 9 times. I thought that was so funny, dude.
That's nuts. You got I
thought it was so funny.
Yeah. I don't know. The thing is, Dewey could be the murderer, and I'd be like, aw, Dewey.
I'd be like, no, Dewey, he just needs some counseling.
Courtney Cox has a slappable face.
I won't say that. But I didn't hate her in this movie, but I will say for a long time, for most of these movies, after 2, I was thinking, okay, the golden rule is you don't kill Dewey, Courtney, or Sydney.
Yeah.
I was like, that's the golden rule. And I still feel that way, but I think they killed the wrong one, is what I'll say.
Who do you think it should have been?
I think it should have been Courtney.
Yeah. Or what's her name? It's a Gail
Weathers. Yeah. Whatever. Then they get this Ghostface then murders Wes and Judy Hicks. I actually enjoyed this, even though he murders her in broad daylight. And nobody sees it. It's in the middle.
Is this the murder of Dylan Minnette?
Well, sorry, I'm skipping over shit. then they go. Dewey joins them at Mindy and Chad's house, where we see this sister who's actually been in like 3 of these films now, and like she's just a casual. Like she always leaves the house, so she always lives. I think it's very weird, but I think it's kind of funny. Randy's sister, and then this is where they give us the requel talk, which I think you just said you hated, huh?
I didn't hate it. It's pretty much exactly what I expected.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
like as far as the Scream movies, like I'd be kind of surprised if they didn't. But like, yeah, I mean, it's the exact formula that they've used and have been successful with. I just thought it was funny how they like coined their own little term for it.
Yeah. And I think there's a lot of jokes in this scene that I think are funny. Like, well, first of all, right before this, Dewey contacts Gail and Sydney, and he doesn't call Gail. But I think the fact that Sydney looks like she's only aged 10 years and 20 is amazing to me. Like she's aging really gracefully. Yeah. I think Courtney is too. But I think Courtney's aging okay. Then there's in this scene where they're like talking about the requel and stuff. I can't remember what it was, but this joke made me laugh so hard where Dewey was like, that cut deep or something like that. Like I can't remember what it was. It was so funny though. I can't remember what the exact joke was, but I just remember rewinding it and playing it again because I was like, holy shit, that was hilarious.
How did you rewind a movie?
It was on Paramount Plus.
Katie. Oh, you didn't see this in theaters?
No, I didn't, unfortunately. And I always regret it, not seeing like these big killer films. But I'm going to be honest, Halloween Kills was the last like big killer film I saw in theaters. So I was like,
I'm going to see X tomorrow, so that should be mine.
I really want to see that. There's a lot of movies that I want to see that I just haven't had the time for lately, which sucks because you know me. I like to be in there like 3 times a week. But I'm single now, so maybe it'll work out. Then they mentioned
married to Captain Unlimited.
Maybe then they mentioned that that was so stupid and such a deep cut, Katie. I just understood what you were saying, and I hated that joke, the Captain Unlimited joke. And
then I'll marry Dr.
You made a Regal Theaters joke. You might as well say. I
am a Regal fan.
I'm sponsor of Regal.
I'm a sponsor of Regal. I loved Dr. Explorer, my favorite. I like action. I like horror, and I even enjoy an animated musical. that kills me.
We're not sponsored by them, by the way. But then they mentioned that Stab 8 is essentially The Last Jedi, which, like I said, I feel like the writer had a hard-on for hating Star Wars. He was like, oh, let me fucking Last Jedi take their legacy character and kill him.
He said, Ryan!
Yeah. Johnson, motherfucker. Then they kill Sheriff Judy Hicks and while Cole's taking a shower. I think his name's Cole.
Dylan Minnette.
Yeah, whatever his name is. While he's taking a shower. Which I didn't
like her in the last couple films anyways, so.
And I like the little music joke they do where he's like opening all the cabinets and closing them and the music like surges because it's like it's building, but they really just fucking with you. And I thought that was really funny. I was like, okay, that's pretty clever, honestly. Did you notice that?
No, it's been like 2 months since I've seen it.
When he's going around the house right after his mom.
Time. I saw it last week.
When he's going around the house right after his mom's died, right? And he's opening all the kitchen doors and stuff.
Uh-huh.
The music goes dun, 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 and then he closes the cabinet and you're like expecting someone to be like standing right there. And then they do it like 4 times. So I know it's a joke. Like it has to be a joke. But literally like 4 times they're like dun it, dun it, dun it, dun it, and then he closes another cabinet and there's no one there again. And then finally he dies by the door.
Well, also this scene like perfectly mimics the trope from is it the second or the third one where it's like where the parent gets a call and they're like, I'm gonna get your child, and then they're like running home, that whole thing.
Not Dewey, Cotton Weary.
Yes.
Yeah, where Cotton's running home to his girlfriend.
Yes, to his girlfriend, and it's the same thing.
Yeah.
So I was like,
I think that's well done. Yeah. And I think the neck kill is really cool because like this is the one where he like stabs him on the side of the throat kind of, and you can like see it like in the
From behind on the porch.
no from like it's like on the side and like you can see it like in his skin. It's weird. You might not remember it. It's cool. It's
Well, he
cool.
stabs her outside, right?
Yeah. He stabs
Yeah,
her
and then
outside, and then he stabs the kid right there in the house by the door.
well, it's creepy
Um,
because it's like 11 a.m.
yeah, yeah, and it's
and
weird.
broad
Like, yeah, I
daylight.
like it when horror movies are able to keep the suspense during the day. It's kind of interesting.
I was like,
Then Dewey shows up, and this is where him and or Gail have their first meetup, and there's it's very heartfelt. And I was so worried they were going to do the same arc again, but then I realized they're kind of well because they got a divorce in real life and they're still friends. But I was like, are we going to do this again, where they kind of get back
well, it
together or
was just
whatever?
weird because they kept making comments towards each other, like, you didn't call or and stuff like that. And
Yeah, I
he'd be
was
like,
like,
how are things on your big TV show? And I was like,
me too. I was sitting there like, oh, okay. I
I
don't
was
know
just like,
about
don't
that.
put me at the audience in the middle of their lover spat. It was like,
Yeah. No.
I just wanted them to have a big blowout. Every day I wake up and I fucking wish you were dead.
Just a full marriage story.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. It was fine. Then Tara and Richie are attacked, but they live. Wait. Yeah. Then this is when
In the hospital, right?
Yeah. Then they're attacked at the hospital, but they live. And then Dewey, smartly is like, let me go back and um and make sure he's dead. Which I was like, don't do this. Please don't do this. Because like as soon as he says that, you're like, okay, so Dewey's about to die. And I was like, oh my God. I like the whole where he's like, it's been an honor thing. That's kind of fun, I guess, but like
I was watching this with
I
my
was
dear
so
friend Nia
devastated.
Ramirez, and she really truly almost shed a tear at this. She was like, I'm shocked. She was like, I'm done. I don't know why I'm watching the rest of this movie after he
No, for
died.
real. I was sitting there, I was like, dude, I was like, honestly, I think this was the wrong choice. Like if you're gonna kill one, kill Gale, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But I was just like, I don't know about this. This is what's keeping me, because it's the golden rule. You don't kill the three, right? In
Yeah.
this franchise, at least, that's how it's always been. And I'm like,
And Harry Potter.
I don't know about this, man. I don't know about this.
Well, maybe they're trying to set up a Gail and Sydney love story.
They're not trying to do that, Katie.
What if
Um,
they did? They want to make it progressive, like Candyman.
Candyman was so. I don't know, Katie. I don't want to do that. Let's not do that, Katie.
There were a
Don't
lot of
kill
queer
Dewey,
couples.
Katie. You don't kill Dewey. I was
I
so
know.
upset. I wasn't like crying upset. I was just disappointed. I was like, oh, like it hit me like a rock, and I was like, this.
It's like if they killed Uncle Joey on Full House, I'd be like, I wouldn't be like devastated about it, but I'd be like, why did you do that?
Well, if they killed Uncle Joey on Full House, I'd be like, thank God. But
I'd be like, cut it out.
kill yourself, Katie. That was terrible. But I'm just like, oh my God, a wrong choice. I don't know if I like the movie because of this decision, but I feel like what most Star Wars fans felt like when Luke died, but I feel like it was a better send off for Luke. Like I was like,
The Skywalker saga. Of course, something had to happen to him.
yeah, I don't know. I'm just like, I don't know about this, Katie. I don't know about them killing Dewey. I can't tell if it ruins the movie for me or not because the rest of the movie is really good. Like
I
I
think it's
would,
gonna hinge on Scream 6
but but I feel like Scream 6 is gonna be terrible without Dewey
or
in
Scabbies 2.
it. Or Stabs too. I don't know. I feel like Scream 6 might be ass. I'm so
I don't
worried.
know. I'm counting on a lesbian Gail and Sydney relationship.
I'm really not counting on that. I really wouldn't hope that you would count on that, considering Sydney has a family with children.
Oh, well,
Which we
never
meet her
too
hubby.
late.
We never meet her hubby, by the way.
Exactly. Easy to say he died or that she's a lesbian.
Also, is her dad okay? Like, what the fuck? Like, I don't know. There's so many characters in this series that I'm like, these are easy people to kill, and you haven't killed them yet. Do you know what I'm saying?
Freaking Sydney's aunt, Sydney's other family. I guess she's got her sister, right? She's got a sister.
I think her sister died, didn't she?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I lost track.
Yeah, whatever. It's just like, I don't know. Dewey was the wrong choice. Don't kill Dewey. Wes is turning over in his grave.
Craven is dead. I'm just kidding. That's
okay, I was about to say, this is about to be a rough podcast. You lost 2 fan favorites. Okay. Sydney, then she arrives, she after finding out of Dewey's death, which is a terrible decision for her. She's just asking for trauma at this point.
I know. I was like,
then she meets both Gail and Sam. She meets both Gail and Sam there. He's dead or whatever. It's horrible. It's the worst thing that's happened. Then they try to get us to. The movie lost steam for me, honestly. Like it died. I was like, it died, and then it came back at the end because I was like, the climax is actually pretty fun. But I just was like, oh my god, I don't know about this. So then Sam decides to leave with Richie and Tara, but they're forced to stop at Amber's house, who's conveniently having a party, which I thought was hilarious. And
then they go over the party in a horror movie rules, right?
Yeah. Well, she's watching Stab 1, so they're like, yeah, it's very meta.
She's like, I won't go down to the basement.
And then and then Mindy gets attacked. Sam is tending to her. No. What's the dude's name? Who the football player that gets attacked while they're at the party?
Oh, I don't know. He dies in this.
Is it Chad? He doesn't die actually. He's in the last shot of the movie. Like
what? He doesn't die outside?
No, in the end of the movie, he lives. Both him and the sister are waving hi at each other in ambulances. They both live. Yeah.
Okay.
Isn't that wild? I was just sitting there, I was thinking, I was like, wow, they saved this guy, but not Dewey. Like, I genuinely think that they were like, we don't know what else to do with Dewey because they're not going to get back together. Like him and Gail can't be together anymore. And,
yeah.
And Gail, Courtney probably doesn't want to die. But anyway,
no.
Then this is where Amber whips out the gun, and I was like, oh yeah, this is cool. Could have seen that coming from a mile away, but I didn't.
I know, they're like, oh, if only there were 2 killers.
Yeah,
and I was like, what?
How could you do that in the Scream? I was just waiting for the second killer to show up because I was like, whatever. Sydney's move where she runs around the house and shoots the door before she opens them, though, is such a I'm a survivor type attitude. I loved that. And she actually does shoot the killer, which is crazy to me.
Well, I like that they let her stay intelligent. You know what I mean? Like that she's actually learned over the past 5 movies.
Yeah. And I love that. Shoots Liv in the head, which thank God I didn't really like Liv, to be honest. Then Richie, speculates to Sam that, how can you trust your sister? You don't even know her. And then she discovers her tied up in a closet and does free her, but we don't know that yet. Which I actually thought was see, this is what I'm talking about. I think the climax is actually really well done.
This movie actually felt like it had a come down, as opposed to like Scream 4, where the last person is killed and literally the movie goes to credits 10 seconds later.
Yeah.
This movie had like a full little
arc and closing. Yeah. We get if you're gonna do a killer movie, you always have to have the scene at the end where there's ambulances and everybody's sitting with.
I know everybody's sitting outside and it's dark out.
Yeah.
Sitting on the edge of the ambulance with a bottle of water.
Yeah, exactly. Then they flee to the basement or whatever. Shit's hitting the fan essentially. Gail and Sydney arrive. Amber shoots Gail. Gail has gotten shot in the same spot like 40 times.
You gotta think that scar tissue is probably weak.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's the same spot too. Then there's a pretty fun reveal with Richie.
Maybe she has a magnet.
Where he stabs Sam. And then they then eventually essentially the climax happens. Just what do you think about the climax of everything unfolding and how it all happened?
Where she kills him?
Well, where Gail sets the Amber on fire, and then she basically accepts her like history as Billy Loomis's daughter and becomes like a serial killer or whatever. I couldn't tell what they were going for with that. Are they saying that she's gonna be crazy?
No.
Or are they just saying that she like has a killer instinct or something?
Killer instinct. I don't know. It is weird, right? Because it's like it questions the implication. It's like, are you saying that because she was related to a serial killer that like she has like the impulse to kill people?
That's what I was thinking. I was like, this is
it was literally self-defense, like very clearly.
Yeah.
But it is kind of a weird implication.
Yeah, I agree. But it also, I don't know.
I liked it. It gave me. I was like, oh, I like this character. Good for you. That's a
no,
hard
yeah,
thing.
I did come around on her, on Sam. I could lose her sister though, honestly.
Jenny Ortega.
Yeah, she could die. I don't care.
Well, she might.
We'll see. Since Sam seemingly then
We'll see in Scream 6.
Maybe in the next movie they'll kill Gale, and then in Scream 7 they'll kill Sydney.
I'm just sad. No more Jack Quaid. They're gonna have to give me another sexy reason to watch these.
Yeah. What the fuck? Anyway, then the movie ends. Yay, Katie, we made it to the end of the
Whoa!
Like I said, I don't know if I love this movie or really am feeling terrible.
It really depends on Scream 6 and
It
if they
all
like
hinges
pay
on-
homage to Dewey.
It all hinges on the rise of Skywalker. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Scream, the rise of Loomis.
Dewey Palpatine. The rise of Loomis.
Imagine in the next one. Imagine in the next one. Sam goes, and she goes, Sam Prescott, and then the movie just ends. Honestly, that's basically the same thing, though. Really.
What would you do if she said, "My name is Sam Skywalker"?
I'd probably kill myself. I'm not
In
a
the
fan
theater?
of Ray
With the
Skywalker thing,
popcorn
but I'm not
bucket?
one of those people who's like a Ray Palpatine thing. Yeah, okay. Favorite part, Katie? You got a favorite part?
Favorite part? Anytime Jack Quaid was on screen, that was my favorite part. I
thought it was actually really good, and
I thought he was a great
stuff.
villain. I love the chasing in the hospital. That whole like chase scene, I thought that was great and super effective.
I like that. Like I said, I think like him being really like watching all the movies and acting like he's never seen them before is really fun. Because as an audience member, you're like, oh yeah, like he's watching all the movies we watch.
I thought it was so interesting though that they like played up the lore. Cause like, there's been like Saw copycat, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
So it was super interesting that they decided to go that route. And I actually found that really engaging and I bought into it,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
One of my top 3 Scream movies.
I'm gonna have to. There's something to 5. I'm gonna have to agree. I think.
But it all hinges on what they do to Dewey in Scream 6.
They're not gonna do anything with him. Katie, he's dead. He's not coming back.
Well, are we gonna see his funeral or like what?
But yeah, I don't know. I thought he was the best part too. I really enjoyed the killer in this movie. Not so much Amber, more just Soham.
No, more.
And I like the twist where he like stabs her. I was like, he's like.
I loved it. It was heartless.
Yeah. It was
like, can you imagine pretending to fall in love with somebody for 6 months just to freaking kill them?
Oh, you're fucking family? Crazy. Like, he's crazy.
Like, I love that. The commitment to that.
Sorry, I couldn't resist. It looks like he's gonna stab me, doesn't it?
Why did that actually scare me for like 0.01 seconds?
It looks like he's gonna stab me, doesn't it? Yeah.
I can't wait to listen to the audio of that.
Yeah. Nobody's gonna know what's good. Oh, whatever. Fuck them. Watch the show on YouTube, don't you know?
Yeah. I listen to it in my car.
Yeah. Do you actually listen to the show?
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's very considerate, Katie.
I'm a very supportive friend.
Yeah. But anyway, what you got for sequels? What do you think's coming up?
I think we're gonna have a gay relationship between Gail and Sydney. No, I actually don't think that. I think Sam is gonna, if they're gonna try to move forward, Sam is gonna become the new Sydney. Sam is gonna become the new Sydney.
You think
I don't know. Maybe.
Or do you think she dies? Because I'm thinking the friend that was the role of Randy in this one is probably gonna die. Like
Gonna die.
Randy,
She reminded me of a squirrel.
like Randy and did in Scream 2.
I don't know. She's outside of college now, so she probably has to move to take care of her sister.
What I'm thinking is like, how
Because
are
her
they
parents were like overseas?
Yeah, I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I'm also thinking like, how are they gonna get Sydney and Gail back?
I don't
Like
know.
both of them clearly are like don't give a shit anymore. Well, I'm thinking the next one might honestly start with one of Gail or Sydney dying. Probably Gail.
Really?
Yeah, just because it's a way to get everybody back on board.
Yeah.
Because I don't know how you're gonna get Sydney away from her children unless her children die.
It's probably going to be like
If they kill Sydney Prescott's children, she will have had the saddest life out of anybody on planet Earth. Just kill her husband. Just kill her husband.
they'd kill her husband. Also, we could kill Sam. Could become the new Ghostface.
Yeah, or kill her daughter. I don't think they're gonna do that with Sam though, because I think they're really trying to
Trying to make her good.
make her the next Sydney. But I do think
It could be her sister. Her sister turned on her. Remember when you were talking about her like having spite towards her being the daughter of Billy?
Yeah, but I think that's kind of put to bed by the end of the movie. I do think it's possible that her dad could be the next killer.
Billy Loomis.
No. Her sister's dad, the one that left.
Jenny Ortega.
Jenny Ortega's dad. Remember he left after he found out that Sam was Billy Loomis's kid? Like maybe he's
right.
Yeah, maybe he's trying to kill Sam.
That would be great.
Yeah. You
Fight that
child.
pop filter.
Hang up on me again, you dirty bitch. Yeah.
Ave Maria.
God, that movie. Weird. Okay. All right, Katie, do you have anything else you'd like to say about Scream 5? You ready for bed?
Ready for a bet?
Ready for bed.
Yeah, I'm gonna probably. I wonder if I'll have a stabby dream.
Did you watch Moon Knight yet? Now we're just getting completely off topic. Did you watch Moon Knight yet?
Not episode 3.
It's great. I think it's the best one.
I'm probably not gonna get to watch it until tomorrow, Friday, depending on Andrew's freaking schedule.
I think it's the best one so far. You don't
I'm
just
very
watch it without him
excited.
and then tell him that you haven't seen it yet?
Well, no, I can't. It's very interesting because like there's a lot of ambiguity in the comics of whether like for a long time you're like, oh, does Mark like just have like different personalities? And they're like, no, it's Khonshu. And I was like, oh, okay. Like I was like, great, we're like establishing everything right now.
Well, I think they elaborate on that in episode 3. It's pretty good. But well, okay. But for real, I'll let you go now. Where can people reach out and find you on social media, Katie?
At Real Slim Katie 25 on Instagram, TikTok, and Letterboxd.
Okay.
What is upsetting about that? I can't tell if you're
a woman going Real Slim Katie.
Anyways, you give me a follow on Letterboxd. Sometimes my reviews are
I actually
engaging.
like your Instagram name, to be honest. It's very clever.
Thank you so much. It's because I used to like Eminem.
Yeah,
I genuinely like old school Eminem.
Yeah. Before Machine Gun Kelly or after?
Before Machine Gun Kelly, what?
They're rivals.
I don't know. I like 1990s Eminem. Machine Gun Kelly was barely even born by then.
That's true. Ladies and gentlemen, that will conclude our show. If you enjoyed this, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe, and add me on Instagram at Dylan Reviews if you have the time. We're all appreciative of you listening and hope to have you back.
What about your TikTok?
When we talk about what TikTok? When we talk about the Book of Boba Fett very soon. Like I said, thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you next time. My TikTok actually is the Dylan Strickland, if you want to add me on there.
We do.
Okay. All right, bye.
Bye!